everyone, so today we are going to discuss about the advanced energy technologies. So before we are going to proceed our discussion, these are the things you need to know about our topic or the overview of our topic. First, we are going to introduce the advanced energy technologies. Next, we are going to explain or identify the 5 advanced energy technologies and also the short introduction of each of the technologies. And lastly, we are going to evaluate the positive and negative aspects of each of technologies on the society. What is advanced energy technologies? Advanced energy technology means an innovative technology that produces energy from solar, wind, geothermal, biomass, tidal, wave, ocean, or other renewable energy resources that produce nuclear energy. So, meaning, the energy was derived from natural resources. So, these natural resources came from sunlight, wind, rain, tides, wave, biomass, and thermal energy stored in the Earth's crust. So, basically, the advanced energy technologies are a renewable form of energy that can produce electricity, industrial heat, thermal heat, and alternative fuels without destroying the environment. So, it produced clean energy, meaning it was less pollution and greenhouse gas emissions, which contribute not only for the people but also for the climate change. And the 5 most commonly used energy technologies are solar, geothermal, wind power, biomass, and hydropower. So, my other group mates will going to identify each of the advanced energy technologies.
In 1839, French physicist Edmond Becquerel discovered the photovoltaic effects while experimenting with a cell made of metal electrodes in a conducting solution. The photovoltaic explained how electricity can be produced from the sunlight. There are 3 types of solar power system. First is the grid intertide. Second is the grid intertide with battery backup. Third is the off-grid solar power system. Grid intertide solar power system is the common one. A grid-tied or grid-connected solar power system is a system that is connected to the home to the traditional electricity utility grid. This power system does not include any storage battery. A grid-tied solar power system is also known as hybrid solar system with battery backup. Is also connected to the traditional utility power grid and adds battery backup to the system. The addition of the battery backups enables the system to balance production and demand and protects against power outages. Off-grid solar power system. It is completely independent solar power with energy storage that is not connected to the main utility grid. The solar panels are the only source of energy in an off-grid solar power system. This energy is either provided to the appliances or stored in the battery for future use. In the Philippines, solar power was first developed in the 1980s. Major solar farms in the Philippines can be found in Cavite, Pampanga, Ilocos Norte, and Cagayan de Oro. There are 3 types of solar panel. First is the monocrystalline, which is high efficiency and at aesthetics. 2 is a polycrystalline, which is low cost. 3 is the thin film solar panels, which is portable and flexible, lightweight, and at aesthetics.
Wind power. Wind power is used to produce electricity and built in Scotland in 1887. The wind turbine is created by Prof. James Blythe of Anderson's College, Glasgow. So, wind power is one of the fastest growing renewable energy technologies that uses wind or air to create mechanical energy or electricity. So, means it is a power obtained by harnessing the energy of the wind. So, there are 2 technologies that came from or uses a wind power, which are windmill and wind turbine. So, a windmill is a wind power machine that converts the energy of wind to pump water or wind or mill drains. So, means it is simply converting wind into mechanical energy like pumping water. The American windmill or wind engine was invented by Daniel Halliday in 1854 and was used mostly for lifting waters from wells. In the Philippines, the 150 MW Borgas windmill farm was located in Ilocos Norte, the biggest wind farm in the Philippines. The groundbreaking ceremony was held in April 2013 and the construction works began in June of the same year. And the SunForce Products Inc. is a leader in the renewable energy industry, manufacturing and distributing both solar and wind-powered products. But now, because we are in a modern society, the windmill converted into modern design and used the most appropriate modern materials, which pumps day and night and can be used to move water to aid land drainage. And this invention, called Ironman windmill pump, or it is a wind pump that provide new capability and opportunities for filling lakes and ponds, providing irrigation and draining flooded lands using free power of the wind. This wind pump was designed by the famous windmill engineer and designer Thomas O. Penny, and it is developed in 2004. So Ironman Windmill Corporation Ltd. Is the manufacturer of this wind pump, and it is used or installed in some areas here in the Philippines for irrigation, especially in Iloilo City, which is an alternative to today's immediate concerns of the country, which is the El Nino. And another one, which is also used as a wind power, is a wind turbine. It is a mechanical device that converts the kinetic energy of wind to generate large amounts of electricity. It is simply turns winds into electricity. And one of the technology that are made in a wind turbine is the Magnus VAWT, or a Magnus Vertical Access Wind Turbine. It supplies safe electricity to all human beings through the innovation in wind energy. It is also the first wind turbine in the world that can generate electricity even during typhoons. So what I've said, this kind of turbines can generate electricity even during typhoon or other strong wind environment by controlling the turbine spinning speed. And Energy is a company that developed or invented the Magnus Vertical Access Wind Turbine, and it led by Atsushi Shimizu, the CEO and founder of this company. And also, Energy is the manufacturer of this world's first typhoon-proof vertical access wind turbine, which is the Magnus VAWT. And it is invented by the company around 2014 to 2015 and was installed on August 7, 2016 in Okinawa, Japan. Then, it is installed here in the Philippines in August 2021 in Batanes.
Hydropower, electricity source in the late 19th century, a British-American engineer James Francis developed the first modern water turbine in 1882. The world's first hydroelectric power plants began operating in the United States along the Fox River in Appleton, Wisconsin. Types of hydropower plants. Hydropower is that power derived from the power of mobile water, which is widely used to produce electricity along useful purposes. So, there are three broad types of hydropower plants. So, number one is run-of-the-river. Hydroelectricity includes any facility, water channels flowing from the river through the canal. The operating projects from the river is usually followed by little or no storage facility. The movement of the river provides a constant supply of electricity or primary load, with same flexibility in the operations of daily fluctuations in demand through the flow of water regulated by the facility. So, number two is pumped storage hydroelectric power. So, pumped storage hydroelectric power supplies by harnessing the water that flows between the lower and upper reservoirs of pumps used by excess capacity from the system in times of low demand. When the demand for electricity is high, water is released to the bottom tank through the turbine to produce electricity. So, three is offshore hydropower, marine renewable energy or MRE, or offshore hydropower is the least well established but growing set of technologies used for tidal currents of wave power to generate electricity from the seawater. These technologies can often overlap. For example, storage projects can evolve in elements of pumping the supplements the water flowing into the natural reservoirs and operating from the river to provide projects for some storage capacity. The first hydroelectric power plants built here in the Philippines. Hydroelectric power developed in the Philippines started in 1913 with the first power plant established by missionaries in Baguio City, the Camp John Hay hydroelectric power plants with an installed capacity of 560 kilowatts. So the largest hydroelectric power plants in the Philippines is Benga Hydropower Plants, owned and operated by SN Avoitis or SNAP since 2008, is located in the upper reaches in the Agno River on the island of Luzon in the northern Philippines. So the plant was commissioned in 1960 with the purpose of generating electricity and providing flood control services.
Biomass energy. Biomass energy used as the source of heat energy since man discovered fire. Biomass system created by Danish inventor Jens Dahl Bentzen. 5 types of biomass: agricultural residues, animal waste, forest residues, industrial waste, and solid waste sewage. Agricultural residues is one example. Here in the Philippines has the abundant large supplies of biomass resources. The most common agricultural waste are the rice hull and bagasse. Majority biomass can be found in the Philippines, located in Negros Island, which provide 46% of the country annual sugar production. Factory of biomass in the Philippines, the Victoria's Mailing Company or the VMC inaugurated a 40 megawatt biomass power plant worth 2 billion in Victoria City, Negros Occidental on Tuesday, as part of its celebration of 100 years in sugar production. In 2006, the Philippine government passed the Biofuel Act. In 2015, the country produced about 16 million tons. The NFSETS indicates in terms target for the delivery of renewable energy within the time frame of 2011 to 2030. Manufacturing Malaysia sector and Singapore retail sale. Philippine Green Energy Initiatives, Myanmar Industrial Zone, Land Use and Brunei Companies Act amendments.
Geothermal. Geothermal heat is the heat that's trapped beneath the earth crust from the formation of the earth 4.5 billion years ago. And from radioactive decay, sometimes a large amount of this heat escapes naturally and all at once in familiar occurrence such as volcanic eruption. This heat can be captured and used to produce thermal energy. The history of the first geothermal electric energy generation took place in Garparello with the development of an experimental plant in 1904 and invented by Prince Piero Hinori Conte. The Philippines is one of the world's top producers of geothermal energy as it is located along the ring of fire zone of Pacific volcanoes. It is considered safer than other energy sources. Well, the Philippines became a leading renewable energy powerhouse in the region. There is a list of geothermal power plants that can be found here in the Philippines. First, Mindanao geothermal power plant located in Cotabato that can produce up to 106 megawatts. Magiling Banay-Banay geothermal power plant located in Laguna and can produce up to 446.8 megawatts. In Leyte geothermal power plant can produce up to 700.9 megawatts. And the manufacturer of geothermal power plant is Energy Development Corp or ADC. So, the next reporter will be going to introduce each of the advanced energy.
So now I am going to tackle about the uses of the 5 technologies, starting with the solar panels. Solar panels, also called photovoltaics, collects energy from the sun in the form of sunlight and convert it into electricity that can be used to power homes or businesses. These panels can be used to supplement a building's electricity or provide power at remote location. The second one is the wind power or wind energy. It is used to generate mechanical power of electricity, and it is also used for specific tasks or a generator that can convert this mechanical power into electricity. The next one is the hydropower. A primary use of hydropower energy is to produce electricity. The main ingredients of hydroelectric power plant are dams, river, and turbines. Plants use dams to create reservoir, where the water is stored. This water is released through turbines and spun to activate generator and create electricity. The fourth one is the geothermal power. Geothermal power plants use steam to produce electricity. The steam comes from reservoir or hot water found a few miles or more below the Earth's surface. And the last one is the biomass. Biomass is a plant or animal materials used as fuel to produce electricity or heat. Examples are wood, energy, crops, and waste from forests, yards, or farms. Let us now hear the negative and positive effects of these 5 technologies.
Positive impacts of advanced energy technology in the society. The first one is the solar energy. Sustainable power. It can lessen electricity bills. It doesn't require a lot of maintenance. If you have a solar panel, your home is immune to blackouts, power outages, and will continue running like normal. Solar panels are emission-free, therefore, making the air cleaner and safer for communities and cities where there are the use of solar panels to generate energy provides many benefits, which includes reductions in the cost associated with generating electricity. Because of saving money on electrical bills, your family would be able to go home vacations, have access to more luxuries, and many more benefits as a result of installing solar windmills. It is cost effective. It is clean fuel source. It's sustainable. Wind is renewable energy source. Overall, using wind to produce energy has fewer effects on the society. Wind turbines do not release emissions that can pollute the air or water, and they do not require water for cooling, which is convenient for each individuals. Hydropower. It is reliable, renewable, and can create lakes. The energy generated through hydropower relies on the water cycle, which is driven by the sun, making it renewable. Hydropower is fueled by water, making it a clean source of energy. Hydroelectric power won't pollute the air that can cause several diseases among individuals. It also creates reservoirs that offer recreational opportunities such as fishing, swimming, and boating. Hydropower provides benefits beyond electricity by providing food control, irrigation support, and clean drinking water. The third one is the biomass. It is renewable. It reduces waste. It is a reliable source of energy. Bioenergy projects affects the communities in which they are implemented in various ways. This can go from improved water quality to the creation of new jobs in economically depressed regions. Good example in the social impacts of bioenergy concerns corn, ethanol, and rising oil prices. Geothermal energy. It is good for environment. It is reliable source of renewable energy. It has high efficiency. One of the examples that uses geothermal energy is what we call geothermal heated homes. Using geothermal energy is relatively clean. Expenditures for services and equipment, as well as taxes and royalties, are made when geothermal power stations are planned and erected. These expenditures encourage those creation of new indirect jobs, increase economic activity, and higher tax avenues. Negative impacts of advanced energy technology in the society. First one is the biomass energy. It is expensive. It requires a lot of space. It can cause some adverse environmental impact. So biomass energy, it is not entirely clean. It can lead to deforestation. Biomass plants requires a lot of space. The next one is the solar energy. It is expensive, dependent on sunlight to variably gather solar energy, use a lot of space. So large utility scale solar panels take up a lot of space, which can result in environmental degradation and habitat loss. Third one is the wind power energy. It produces noise that may cause disturbance. It poses a threat to wildlife, such as birds. It can cause visual pollution. As with all energy supply options, wind energy can have adverse environmental impacts, including the potential to reduce fragment or degrade habitat for wildlife, such as fish and plants. Furthermore, spinning turbines blades can pose a threat to flying wildlife, such as birds and bats. Next is geothermal energy. It emits greenhouse gases, high investment cost. Some of the social impacts of geothermal development, such as displacement and disputes over land rights, the rights of indigenous people, loss of livelihood, short-term disruptions such as traffic, influx of population, noise, other, and etc. It is lack of stakeholder engagement or consultation and disputes over employment and economic. The last one is the hydropower. Limited plant locations, higher initial cost, impact on fish. Hydropower can damage wildlife habitat, harm water quality, obstructed fish migration, and diminish recreational benefits of rivers. So those are the negative impacts of advanced energy technology to the society. That is our group report all about, and we hope that all of you guys gain some lesson from us. Thank you.